Hey everyone, it's Chris Loud. In this demo video, I'm turning torn and cut paper scraps into 3 expressive botanical collages. I'm also sneaking in a little bit of acrylic skin here and there. The interesting thing about collage is that it can feel a little less intimidating than painting sometimes, because many times the shapes already exist. We're really just moving things around and responding to color and experimenting with composition and letting forms slowly emerge from the scraps. Before starting, I painted each page with titanium white acrylic paint. That way, if I needed to cover up smudges or accidental marks later, the white paint would blend back into the surface more naturally instead of competing with the bright white of the paper underneath. And even though I'm making botanical inspired pieces in this video, you absolutely don't have to make flowers with collage. You could create landscapes or portraits or, abstract compositions, still life pieces, and, even, weird little mystery objects if you want. This is really more about exploring creativity through materials than it is about making a specific subject. I'll be creating 3 different collage pieces in this demo video, and at the end, I'll show you the finished pieces along with 4 additional botanical collages created using similar materials and techniques, so we can see how differently these kind of compositions can evolve from basically the same starting point. And really quick, I want to say thank you to Steve, Christine, and Carol for the recent super thanks and coffee support. I really appreciate it, and it genuinely helps support the channel and videos like this. So something I really like about collage exercises like this is that they help us practice a lot of artistic skills at the same time without feeling overly technical. We're thinking about composition and color harmony and variations in value and shape relationships, and spacing and rhythm and balance, all while basically sitting around playing with scraps of paper. And, because the materials already have color and texture, it can help us loosen up creatively instead of overthinking every single mark. And if you don't normally do collage, this is a really good exercise to try. And if you don't have colorful paper lying around, it really doesn't matter. Old magazines and junk mail and newspapers, packaging materials, and painted scraps, failed paintings, all of that stuff can work beautifully. So for this first collage, I started pretty simply with the vase shape and gradually let the botanical forms build outward from there. And that's kind of how these all developed. I wasn't sketching flowers first or carefully planning every leaf or stem. I was mostly responding to shapes that already existed in the scraps. And sometimes, a torn piece immediately suggests a petal or a leaf. Other times it just kind of sits there, looking completely useless until suddenly it becomes the exact thing the composition needed. I think collage also helps strengthen our ability to recognize potential in shapes. A random scrap suddenly becomes a stem or a leaf or a vase or something completely abstract. After a while, you start looking at scraps differently and noticing possibilities everywhere. And that's honestly one of my favorite things about collage. The materials almost start participating in the creative process. And you'll see that I added some strips of paper to the vase that I didn't show on camera, just to create some stripes on that vase. I also add a slight bit of shading with Payne's Gray acrylic paint on these collages to help give the shapes a little more form and depth. So for the second piece, I ended up going with a slightly simpler composition. One of the things collage really helps us practice is composition, because we can physically move shapes around and test arrangements before committing to anything. That kind of flexibility makes it easier to experiment with spacing and balance and visual weight without feeling locked into a decision too early. And if you don't want to glue anything down, the great thing is you don't have to. You can literally just move pieces around on a table and explore compositions. That alone is actually a fantastic composition exercise. Sometimes I'll spend quite a while just shifting shapes around and changing the spacing and rotating pieces and different, testing different color relationships before anything gets attached. And sometimes I don't even attach anything to a surface. I just play around. And really that part is kind of relaxing. It's like solving a puzzle where there isn't really a wrong answer. Well, mostly. I'm sure I'll probably get questions about how I'm attaching the collage elements. So for these, I'm using a matte gel medium. And that's usually my go-to because it dries clear and works well both underneath and over the paper pieces. But there are definitely other options too. You could use glue sticks or Mod Podge or PVA glue, soft gel medium or other acrylic medium. Some adhesives wrinkle paper more than others, so sometimes it takes a little experimenting. And if it's something that you've picked up that you haven't used before, I would definitely recommend testing it out a little bit and just seeing how it reacts to the paper that you're using. One thing I'm trying to stay aware of while building these is value variation. For example, if I'm using green, I don't want every green to be the exact same hue or value. Some greens are darker, some are lighter, some more muted and neutral, and some more saturated. Exercises like this also help strengthen our awareness of value because we start noticing how lighter and darker shapes affect depth and balance and contrast across the composition. Even subtle value shifts can make a huge difference in how the piece feels overall. It also becomes a really good exercise for color harmony because we're constantly comparing scraps against each other and adjusting relationships across the surface. Sometimes one small piece of color completely changes the balance of everything around it. And that variation helps create depth and keeps the collage from feeling too flat or repetitive. The same thing applies to almost every color in the piece. Even though these are playful and intuitive, I'm still thinking about balance and structure underneath everything. So for the third piece, I wanted to do the opposite of the simpler second collage and make this one feel a little more chaotic and skewed. Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of it at first, but it's definitely grown on me since then. One challenge with putting green into the vase is that it becomes harder to visually separate the vase from the plant forms. So I had to get a little creative toward the end to help define those shapes better, which honestly is a pretty good problem to have. You'll also notice I occasionally bring in a little bit of acrylic skin, which is just dried acrylic paint peeled off my palette. I really like mixing acrylic skin into collage because they introduce a different texture and edge quality than paper does. Sometimes the acrylic skins become little focal points and help break up areas that start feeling too predictable. And they're also just a great way to reuse dried paint instead of throwing it away. Exercises like this are honestly really useful because they strengthen our ability to see relationships. We start noticing how shapes interact and how colors affect each other, where visual weight gathers and repetition, how repetition creates rhythm and how spacing changes movement and energy. And because collage is relatively forgiving, it encourages experimentation. You can move things and rotate things and remove things, completely change direction if you want to. And honestly, that flexibility is one of the biggest creative benefits of collage. Nothing feels too precious, which makes it easier to experiment and take risks. If something isn't working, we can usually just adjust it and keep going instead of feeling stuck. That flexibility can help us loosen up creatively in a way that painting sometimes doesn't. Another thing I really like about collage is that imperfection, at least I think, actually helps. You know, using torn edges and crooked shapes and uneven layering and unexpected textures, those often make the work feel more alive and expressive. Sometimes the most interesting parts are the little awkward moments that probably weren't planned at all, which feels pretty relatable. So this piece was really kind of, I felt, getting a little too chaotic, too built up. And so I started trying to put down a few more pieces that would try and calm that a little bit. So that big round blue shape that I put down, that had two purposes. One, it was to try and bring a little bit of space to the chaos behind it, and also to help separate that vase, the green in the vase, from the plants above that. And same with that piece of orange acrylic skin. That was to kind of give the eye a place to land in all of this kind of chaos. So I will continue to put down a few more pieces to try and kind of smooth out that rough, chaotic background just a little bit. And then I'm bringing in a couple of bits of striped paper here to just, again, help separate a little bit of that vase and the plants above it, the greens. And this is, I believe, the same or very similar paper that I added to the other two pieces at the end, attaching to the vases on the neck of the kind of short round one with the red flowers. And again, just playing with that Payne's Gray to try and give these vases just a little bit of form. And then I'll also use this Payne's Gray around that blue circle to give a little bit of depth and separation from that in the background. Almost like kind of a flower that's kind of pushing away from the rest of the bouquet, I guess, if you will. So I'll show you coming up the 3 finished collages from the video, and I'll also show you the 4 additional botanical collage pieces I created using similar techniques and materials. And one piece you'll notice is very similar, kind of a sister piece, because I wanted to play with that again a little bit, and that's kind of tied to the second piece with just the 3 flowers. One thing I really enjoy about working this way is how different the pieces can become, even when they're made from similar scraps and shapes. You know, some feel calmer, some feel more energetic, some feel more abstract, some obviously feel a lot more representational. And all of them started from basically the same place, just experimenting with materials and responding intuitively. So just using a little bit of titanium white to, again, try and calm down and shape that kind of middle portion of the bouquet that's just really kind of chaotic and full. Like I said, this was the one I wasn't real fond of, but as I've sat with a little bit, it's because it is just so rough. I've kind of come to really like it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, demo videos, technique videos, collage videos, abstract painting videos, feel free to subscribe. And as always, if you have any questions or feedback, I'd love for you to leave me a comment. And again, even if collage isn't normally your thing, I really encourage you to try it sometime, even if it's just moving scraps around on a table for a while. You might be surprised what starts showing up and what you get out of it. Some of the paper I used in these additional pieces was kind of test pieces for some stuff I was doing on with a jelly plate, and those ended up being really useful for the vases for these final pieces. So here are the 3 that I just did, and I'll show you the other 4 that I did previously. And that's one with a jelly plate. So thanks for watching, and keep on painting, or creating, I should say.